Before I built my homemade camper, I searched high and low for a good heavy-duty frame before I finally found this trailer on Craigslist for $300. Once I brought it home, I stripped all the lumber off of it, stripped the frame down and repainted it, and got it ready to build my camper on. I wanted the most heavy-duty frame that I could find and be able to handle what I was prepared to build. This trailer had 6 leaf springs per side and could handle 4,000 pounds, so I knew it was sufficient to build a camper on. Once I got the frame stripped, I started to lay the floor, which was made out of 3/4 inch plywood cut around the fender wells so the entire floor plan overhung the frame by 6 inches. Restoring trailers in the past, I understood the concept of how campers are built and how they're constructed. And with no plans and nothing drawn up, I built this entire camper out of my head, knowing what I wanted when I was done. Once the floor was installed and carriage bolted to the frame, I erected the walls using again 3/4 inch plywood. All the walls around the camper, built like a box, were glued and screwed and reinforced at all the corners and joints, making sure that this camper was built right and built strong. I capped off the wheel wells and prepared the trailer for laying down brand new linoleum before I started anything on the interior. I obtained the windows from a 1979 Toyota Dolphin motorhome and the front window and the door to enter the camper from another camper that was in a junkyard, and I got them one day before the camper was slated to be crushed. I used 2x3s for the cross members of the roof of the camper as I wanted it strong enough to walk on and be able to handle any limbs that would fall on the camper when at a campground. Sandy helped me clean up and take care of the tools when she'd get home from work after the day was done working on it. It took me 2 weeks to build this camper by myself every day, working in between the weather. These are the slider windows that I got from the Dolphin motorhome with built-in screens. They were really nice and worked perfect for the project. I kept the camper simple, building just a horseshoe wraparound dinette that had hinged lids for storage underneath. The underside of the floor was completely rubber coated. The door that I obtained from the camper that was crushed the next day was much longer than what I needed, so I disassembled the entire door, cut it to size, put it back together, and it worked perfect. After I got the entire box of the camper built, I treated it with Thompson water seal and then went to a scrapyard and got aluminum siding, heavy gauge, and covered the entire camper with the siding, overlapping all the corners and joints by 1 inch. Once the trailer was completely wrapped, I painted it with white Rust-Oleum paint, and here it is with 2 coats. This is the inside of the trailer after I laid the brand new linoleum, making sure that the entire floor was covered before I began building anything on the interior. Once it was enclosed and the entire box was built, windows and door installed, I was then ready to start working on the inside. This is the wraparound dinette, which seated quite a few people. And it had a dinette table in the center, and this is a look at the storage underneath. I insulated the entire camper with 1/2 inch foam, just like a cooler, including the ceiling, and then began to build my frames for the cupboards. All the interior was covered with just Luan to keep the weight down. This is a look before my finished moldings were installed. I also included an area for a porta potty so that we could use our own facilities in the middle of the night without having to go out into the dark campgrounds and use the public facilities. This is another look at the dinette before the cushions were made. This is the base that I got out of another motorhome for the pipe that supports the dinette table. This is a look at the cushions that Sandy helped me sew with I think it was 3-inch foam if I remember right. And this is a look at the dinette table and the cushions when the camper was almost finished. The camper was extremely dry, quiet, and well insulated, and it was very cozy, with no condensation inside. It had a heavy-duty tongue and jack, which was perfect for towing. This is a look at the camper after it was completely painted. I named it Trail Light. It weighed 1,100 pounds when finished. We went camping in it for 2 years before I had to sell it after the frame of my truck ended up cracking and was unfixable. Next time I'm going to build a teardrop that's only going to weigh 500 pounds and will be even smaller. Thank you for watching.